When I got divorced, my own family didn't just take my ex-wife's side. They practically replaced me with her. They invited her to Thanksgiving and told me, you stand some, as long as you keep your mouth shut and don't pull one of your pathetic scenes. I said, don't worry, I'd rather eat with strangers than sit with traitors. 5 days later, I made one move that blew everything up. My cousin called me sobbing. Everything's falling apart, please help us fix it. So I'm just gonna dump this here BC. I'm honestly still mad and kinda wanna see if I'm the only one who thinks this is insane. If you get bored by family drama, just scroll. But if you've ever felt like your own fam had you on mute, you'll probably get it. Not using throwaway BCIDC if anyone finds it TBH, done keeping the peace, so for context, I got divorced like a year and a half ago, which sucked but wasn't like shocking. Me, crew, my ex, Opal, we lasted almost 6 years. I'm not going to sit here and say it was all her fault. Like, I can be kind of blunt. I'm not really into the whole, let's talk about feelings for hours thing. And yeah, maybe I overdo the sarcasm. Opal's thing was, she always needed everyone to like her. She would literally twist herself into a pretzel, trying to be the good one in any situation. So marriage equals sign not a great match, turns out. Whatever. Here's where it gets weird. Most people, when you split, your family's awkward, but they still, IDK, remember who their actual blood is? Not my crew. My mom, Faith, and my cousin, Tucker, in particular, they just absorbed Opal like she was their own. My Aunt Lorraine, too. And I'm not talking like, oh, we're being civil for the kids. We don't have any. I mean, straight up acting like she's still one of them, and I'm, what, the mailman? It's wild. First weird thing I noticed was the group chat. Like, it used to just be me, my mom, Tucker, Lorraine, and my sister, Tammy. Suddenly, Opal's in there. They're all sending pics from this stupid pottery night, and I see Opal's mug before I see anyone else's. No one even asks if I want to come. Then it's like, oh, we're doing a pumpkin patch day, and I see my own cousin post a selfie with Opal tagged, and everyone's commenting like she's the fun aunt now. My phone lights up, but only BC I get to see all their messages, not BC anyone's talking to me, I figure. Whatever. Maybe they're just being polite. Maybe it's awkward for them too. NGL, I started muting the chat BC. It was just making me pissed off every time I saw them all hanging out with her like nothing happened. Then like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, I get this call from my mom. She's got her serious voice on, like she's about to tell me someone died or something. So I just say, what's up? And she launches into this whole thing about how things have been tense and she doesn't want any drama at Thanksgiving. She actually says, you can come, but only if you keep your mouth shut and don't pull one of your pathetic scenes. Like WTF? I literally haven't even seen these people since July. What scenes? So I ask, why would I be the problem here? And she says, well, you know how you get. You always have to argue, and Opal just wants peace. I laugh and ask, so Opal's coming then? And she's like, of course she's family. And she's been such a support to all of us. I ask, support how? And my mom gets real defensive, starts rambling about how Opal's been helping her with stuff around the house and being there when she needed to vent about me not calling enough, etc. She literally says, Opal actually listens, unlike you. So at this point, I'm just done. I say, I'd rather eat with strangers than sit with traitors. She hangs up on me. Just hangs up. Not like that's new. She slammed the phone down on me since I was a kid. It's her move when she doesn't want to deal. I text Tucker after like, are you serious with this? And he just says, don't make it about you. Opal's been through a lot. Like, what have I missed? Did I die and no one told me? I try to get some real answers and end up calling my sister Tammy. She's the only one who doesn't act like I'm invisible, but she's so over it, she barely gets involved. She says, look, Opal's just easy to have around. She bakes, she helps out, she makes everyone feel like they're not walking on eggshells. She says, you know how mom is. You always clash. She likes people who tell her she's right. You never did that, Opal does. I ask if Tammy thinks I should just roll over, and she says, I don't know. Maybe just don't show up. Let them have their peace. Like, sick, thanks sis. So I spend the next few days just IDK existing. I keep getting group chat notifications. Opal's making pies. Opal's helping Lorraine with her garden. Opal's teaching my mom how to use her new phone. Like, I'm not even mad at Opal. She's just doing what she always does, which is get everyone on her side by being helpful and sweet and letting everyone dump their problems on her. My family, though, that's another story. I think the reason they side with her is honestly because she's just easy for them. She never calls anyone out. She never pushes back. She'll literally listen to a 2-hour rant about how Tucker's ex stole his air fryer and she'll make him banana bread. Meanwhile, I push back when my mom says something out of line. I tell Tucker to stop whining. I don't pretend everything's fine when it's not. So yeah, I guess I'm difficult. But at least I'm not fake, so Thanksgiving comes around and I'm sitting there in my apartment, scrolling through my phone, and I get a snap from Lorraine. Table all set, Opal right at the center, holding my mom's hand. Everyone's smiling. I see my own spot at the table empty. It's not even subtle, I get it now. I'm not family fine. If they want to pick Opal over me, that's on them. But I'm not just going to take it. I'm not going to sit here and let them act like I don't exist or like I'm some villain in my own life. So I start making a list in my notes app, just writing down every time Opal's helped my family with something that used to be my job. Every time they ask her to do something I used to do. Every time my mom lets her handle stuff that's supposed to be family only. I'm not even sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but it feels good to keep track. I'm not about to let them just erase me. I'm not going to be the guy who sits at home every holiday while my ex takes my place. If they want a traitor at their table, they can have her. But they're not getting both of us, so yeah, that's where I'm at. Not sure what my next move is yet, but I'm done being the nice guy. If anyone's got advice, drop it, BC. I'm not going to just sit here and watch my family get played. Not this time, next part's probably going to get ugly, but TBH, I'm ready for it. Update 1. So after that Thanksgiving mess, I started noticing stuff I guess I'd been ignoring. Like stuff that didn't even fully click until I was sitting there, scrolling, and realizing I'd basically been scrubbed out of my family's life and Opal got my invite. I mean, I'm not talking about just the holiday. I mean everything. There's this thing where when you're suddenly the outsider, you start seeing all the little ways you were being replaced for months. I'd get texts from Tucker about random family things, but then I'd see on his stories that Opal's there, hanging out at my mom's, bringing food, like she's hosting, not visiting. She's got her own mug at my mom's house. That's new. She never even drank coffee when we were together. My cousin straight up posted a video of Opal showing Lorraine how to set up some TV thing, like she lives there. My aunt's got her on speed dial now. It's always, Opal's so helpful. Opal's got the best ideas, Opal this, Opal that. Like I'm not even a footnote. I asked Tucker what the deal was with that, and he just says, it's not that deep, man. Opal's just good with tech stuff. You know, mom's hopeless with remotes. Yeah, sure, but she also never called me for help after the divorce. I guess I'm not helpful anymore. Then there was this thing with the cabin. So my grandma left this place upstate to the family, right? Not just my family, but it's split between me, Tucker, and Tammy. For years, I was always the one handling the bills and maintenance. Not that anyone said thanks. So I go check the group chat for the cabin after ignoring it for a while. And it's all Opal. Opal's organizing a summer trip. Opal's got quotes for repairs. Opal's talking about making it more welcoming. I scroll back and see my name's not even in the convo about who gets to use the place for July. I literally co-own it and nobody even pings me for the vote. I text Tucker like, dude, what's going on with the cabin? He just shrugs it off, says Opal's helping out. Everyone likes her plans better. You're always too busy anyway. I called Tammy about it and she's like, yeah, I tried to say you should be included, but Mom and Lorraine said it's just easier with Opal. She says, you know how it is. Mom says you're always difficult to schedule with. Opal just takes care of things. I tell her it's literally my name on the deed. And Tammy just sighs and says, I know, but I'm tired of fighting about it. She's not even on my side, just doesn't want a deal. I started asking around, but no one really gives a straight answer. Lorraine just says, Opal's been such a blessing. You should be grateful she's keeping the family together. My mom says, if you'd just come around more, maybe things would be different. I point out, you invited my ex to Thanksgiving and told me to stay quiet, and she just changes the subject. Says I always have to make things about me. It's honestly wild. I get that Opal's easy for them because she never says no. Always bakes, always buys little gifts, does the whole, oh, let me help you act. Like, she did this with my friends too, always made herself the one everyone wanted to invite. But my family, I guess I just thought they'd remember who I am. But nah, they want easy, not honest. Then I noticed something that just set me off. So my mom always asked me for help with her bills, like online stuff, setting up autopay and whatever. After the divorce, I still did it for a while, but then she starts saying Opal's got it covered now. I find out from Tucker that Opal has access to my mom's accounts now, like full-on password, handling stuff I used to do. I ask my mom, are you serious? You're letting my ex handle your money now? She just says, Opal's trustworthy. You're always so negative. She helps me feel in control. I tell her that's a horrible idea, and she just snaps at me, says, if I'm so worried I can come over and help, but only if I can be nice for once. I tell her I'm not playing that game. So I start making a point of keeping receipts, literally and otherwise. I got screenshots, notes, everything. Every time Opal's making calls about the cabin, every time she's talking about helping with family stuff, every time she's making plans with my family that I'm not even in the loop for. I'm not even mad at Opal for doing what she does. I'm mad at my family for just letting it happen. Like, it's not like I'm perfect, but I never thought they'd just erase me so they could have someone who never disagrees with them. Then I get this DM from Lorraine, asking if I can sign off on some paperwork for the cabin. I'm like, what paperwork? She sends me this doc, says Opal's helping everyone set up new auto pay for utilities and we need your info. I ask, since when does Opal manage the bills? And Lorraine gets all defensive, says, well, she's the only one who's actually keeping up. You're always late. You don't answer. You're too busy. I say, I literally pay my share every year. No one ever said a word about it being late. She just says, well, Opal will take care of it now. Just sign. I tell her I won't sign anything until I look at it, and she flips out, says I'm making drama, slams the door when I show up at her place to talk. Tucker texts me after, says, just sign it. Stop making everything hard. So now it's like, everywhere I look, Opal's got her hands in something I used to do. Every group chat, every family event, every dumb holiday email, she's there. I'm not. I even asked my mom if I could swing by to talk about the cabin stuff. She says, only if you're not going to argue. Opal's coming over to help me with taxes anyway. I just hung up. That's it. I'm not doing this honestly. I think the reason my family treats me like this is because I never played along. Even before Opal, I was always the guy who says what he thinks, calls out the BS, doesn't pretend things are fine when they're a mess. Opal? She's the type who'll smile, nod, and bake you cookies while you talk trash about the person who actually did the work. So my family gets what they want. Someone who never pushes back, never makes things awkward. That's what they value, I guess. Just a nice, quiet life with no arguments, even if it means pretending I don't exist. So I'm sitting there, watching this whole thing play out, and I realize, if I don't step in, I'm about to get cut out of everything. Not just emotionally, but financially. Like the cabin, the family accounts, everything. They're just gonna let Opal take over. Not happening. Next time they ask me to sign anything, I'm showing up with everything I've got. I'm not signing anything. I'm not backing down. I'm not letting them rewrite history so Opal gets to be the hero, and I'm just the angry guy who disappeared. I'm done being quiet. If they want to fight, they're about to get one. So yeah, buckle up, BC. I'm about to make it impossible for anyone to ignore. If my family wants Opal, they can have her. But they're not getting my share. Not a chance. Ready for round 3. Update 2. You ever get that feeling where you know people are talking about you but you just can't prove it? I'm not talking paranoia, just all these sideways vibes. Like one day you're family, next you're the weird ex-brother nobody wants to text unless it's for money. I started noticing the stuff that didn't get posted, not just what did. Like, Tucker sends me a meme about being the forgotten son, but also, he's in every single group photo with Opal and not me. I see Lorraine's FB post about grateful for new traditions with Opal holding a pie, and it's my grandma's recipe, the one she said she'd never give out. Wild, so I decided to stop waiting for them to play nice and just go straight through the front door. Not literally, but I set up a family meeting. I texted everyone in the old group chat, the one Opal's not in, and said, we need to talk about the cabin and the money and all the other stuff. Tammy's like, I'll come if this isn't just another argument. Tucker's being all not my circus, but I tell him, yeah, it is. You just don't want to get your hands dirty. Lorraine tries to stall, says Opal can handle it. I say no. This is for people who actually own things. She leaves me on read. I tell them I'm bringing every doc I have. I want to see receipts. I want to hear what everyone's plans are for the cabin and the accounts. Tammy comes, obviously annoyed. Tucker's late. Lorraine is acting like she's at a dentist. I have everything printed out, folder stacked. I'm not messing around. I start laying out the basics. I say, look, Opal doesn't own the cabin. She doesn't get a vote. She doesn't get to move money around. I show them the group chats where she's making plans without me, the emails where she's organizing stuff with the electric company, the screenshots where she's telling people, I don't care about the family. I show them every time I paid my share, every time I got iced out of a decision. I say, if you want to change the way things work, you'll need my signature, and I'm not signing anything until I get some respect. Lorraine snaps, says, you're overreacting. Opal's just helping because you're never around. I tell her, I'm not around because you treat me like a problem instead of a person. Tucker says, nobody wants a fight, but Opal makes things easier. I say, easier for who? Easier for people who want to pretend I don't exist. Tammy actually sides with me for once, says, yeah, this is getting weird. Why is Opal running everything? Lorraine says, because she cares. You just make things difficult. We start arguing. Voices are up. Nobody's backing down. Tammy slaps her hand on the table and says, this is our family, not Opal's. This is going too far. Lorraine stands up and pushes her chair back, says she's not dealing with, slams the door. Tucker tries to leave. I block him, say, you're not bailing. He shoves me, says, don't grab me. I'm not your problem solver. I tell him, you want to be a grown-up, then act like when it gets heated, like real messy. I'm not pulling punches. I tell them, if you keep letting Opal handle money, I'll have to freeze the accounts until we sort it. I co-own the cabin. I have legal rights. And if you think I'm joking, try me. Tucker scoffs, says, you wouldn't screw us like that. I say, you already screwed me. So what's the difference? Then Tammy pulls out her phone and starts showing the group chat with Opal. All these messages about how Crew's too angry and let's just do things without him. I didn't even know about this one. She says, I didn't want to get in the middle, but this is out of control. I look at Tucker. He just shrugs, says, it's easier this way, Crew. I say, easier for you, not for me. So now we're all just yelling. Lorraine comes back in, says, if you want to make things hard, I'll call Grandma's lawyer. See how you like it. I tell her, do it. I'll send everything I have. Tammy says, can we just make rules? Can we just agree Opal doesn't get a vote? Tucker looks at me, says, fine, what do you want? I say, I want you to stop acting like I'm dead and she's your new brother. It's awkward as hell, like no one's crying, but you can tell everyone's mad for different reasons. Tammy wants peace, Tucker wants out, Lorraine wants Opal to run the show. I want my life back. I say bottom line. If Opal touches another account or signs my name, or even tries to make decisions with my property, I'll take it all to a lawyer. You want to fight? I'm done playing. Nice, Tucker says. Fine, then we'll just do everything by the book. Tammy says, I'm tired of all of you. She leaves, slams the door. Lorraine sits down and won't look at me. I tell them, you did this. You picked her over me, and now you get to live with it. I stand up. Tucker tries to block me. I shove him out of the way, grab my folder, and walk out. I get home and I'm pissed, but I'm also weirdly calm. I know what my next move is. I'm not bluffing. They want to play games with money and property. I'll show them what happens when you cross someone who actually reads the fine print. Gotta say, it's wild seeing how fast people turn when you stop being useful or easy for them. They want Opal. They can have her. But I'm not letting her take what's mine. Not now. Not ever. Next update's when I flip the switch. Stay tuned. Final update. So after that mess of a family meeting, I gave it 5 days. I kept expecting someone to text, maybe try to smooth it over or pull the usual guilt trip, but nothing. It was just the same. Group chats I'm not in, Opal's name everywhere, me getting tagged in nothing. I guess they thought I'd just give up and fade out so they could keep playing house with my ex running the show, but nah, not happening. I started with the cabin. I pulled up all the docs, deed, bills, the co-owner agreement Grandma typed up back in the day, all that. I double-checked every single payment I made, every signature, every message about repairs. I had it lined up so clean even Tucker couldn't argue. What they didn't realize is you can't just vote a co-owner out and hope they stop asking questions. I called the management office, told them to freeze any new changes, no repairs or bookings, nothing moves without my sign-off. I told them to send that in writing to everyone on the file. I emailed the family group with the legal notice attached. No warning, no please. Just, if you want to use the cabin, come talk to me direct. Opal's not on the deed. She doesn't get a say. Oh, and BTW, no more helping with bills. All payments need to go through the official account, which I now control. Then I handled the family accounts. I went to the bank and took my name off anything Opal even touched. I called the bank manager, explained the situation, and asked them to flag the accounts for third-party access. They said they needed a written request, so I dropped it off the same day. Mom texted me later, mad that her online banking wasn't working the way Opal set it up. I said, talk to your own son for once, not your ex-daughter-in-law. She hung up on me. I texted Tammy, told her what I was doing and why, and said if she wants her share of the cabin, she'll need to talk to me, not through Lorraine, not through Opal. She just wrote back, honestly, I get it. I'm tired of this too. Tucker called and tried to argue, said I was punishing everyone for not picking sides. I said, you already picked. I'm just making sure you can't pretend I'm not here when it comes to money or property. Lorraine called me yelling, asking how I could do this to family. She tried to guilt me about Grandma's wishes, but I didn't budge. She said I was being vengeful. I said, nah, I'm just enforcing what's actually legal. She slammed the phone down. Later that night, I saw a post from her about some people never grow up, and I had to laugh. Opal tried to call me, first time in months. I let it ring out. She texted, said, can we talk? This is hurting people. I didn't answer. She sent another, said, I'm just trying to help. Why are you making it so hard? I blocked her. The fallout was fast. Within 2 days, I started getting messages from Tucker. First pissed, then just desperate. He said, the cabin trip is ruined. Mom is freaking out. Lorraine is blaming everyone. Opal's crying. Nobody knows what to do. He said, can you please just fix it? Everything's falling apart. I told him, I warned you. You made your choice. I'm not coming to the rescue. I'm just making sure no one erases me out of my own life. Then Tammy called. She said, did you really freeze the accounts? I said, yeah, I did. She said, honestly, I'm relieved. It's been messed up for months. They just let Opal do whatever because no one wants to deal with Mom and Lorraine. I told her, if she wants to do things right, come to me. We'll figure out a system that doesn't involve random people running our stuff. She said she would. That's all I wanted the next weekend. I went for a run past my mom's place. Her car was there. Opal's wasn't. Lorraine's car was gone too. I didn't go in. I just kept going. Sometimes you gotta let people deal with the mess they made. I'm not fixing it for them. I know people reading this are probably thinking, wow, harsh. But FR, if you let people treat you like you're disposable, they'll do it forever. My family wanted easy. Now they get hard mode. Opal wanted to play replacement. Now she's out of the game. I didn't break any laws. I didn't yell or threaten. I just used the facts and the rights I already had. You want to erase me? Fine. But you're not getting my stuff or my silence, so yeah, guess I burned the bridge. But TBH, it was already on fire. I just made sure nobody could walk back over it without asking first, no clue what the next holiday will look like. Don't really care. I got my life back, and I'm not sharing it with traitors. If you're in the same spot, don't just sit there and take it. Remind people where the line is and don't be afraid to draw it in permanent marker. That's it for me. Hope somebody gets something out of this. Even if it's just the idea that you don't have to let people walk all over you for the sake of family. Sometimes you gotta be the villain in their story to finally be the hero in your own. Done.